have to know what I'm about to show you if you want to scale your e-commerce brand with Google Ads. Now, most e-commerce brand owners have zero idea on how highly successful e-commerce brands even operate when it comes to Google Ads. And today, I want to expose this e-commerce brand right here, which does roughly $200,000 per month in revenue with Google Ads alone, and show you exactly how we were able to scale to this level and why this brand even performs at this level of scale despite being extremely boring, despite being extremely simple. Now, first things first, before we go over the Google Ads strategy, results, etc., let's take a step back and go over the actual website and understand what this brand is. Now, it is this brand right here. This brand specializes in selling car wheels. Basically, that's the main kind of product category which this brand has. Different types of wheels, different styles, designs for different brands of cars, makes, models, etc. That's literally the only type of products this brand sells. And as you can see, because of that kind of nature of this brand, the nature of these products, the overall products are very specific. They're towards a direct set of audience members. Each one of these wheels, it does not fit every car make or car model, which means these product titles, descriptions, so on and so forth have to be extremely direct with the right kind of keywords. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of inefficiency. There's going to be a lot of wasted ad spend. But what I want you to understand from the first glance is just how plain and simple this website is. I mean, this is the homepage right here. That's literally it. There's no type of great imagery. There's no type of unique over-the-top images, videos, etc. It's literally a simple kind of image of different vehicles followed by just different collections, and then followed by just the different kinds of products that's selling. Even their footer menu is extremely boring. How is this brand able to achieve these kinds of results with such a boring approach? Well, that's the beauty about having the right kind of approach. We're gonna get into that shortly, but let's go over the specific products. Now, as I mentioned, because these are branded wheels, they have to be labeled with very specific parts, very specific specifications, hence why you see all of these numbers right here, because this is required for whoever wants to purchase this kind of product. But if we take a step back even further and go into their Shopify backend, we can see they do roughly $300,000 a month in revenue. Absolutely insane numbers. On some days, they're doing $30,000 to $40,000 in revenue. So the first thing you want to understand that this brand got right when it comes to Google Ads is, despite this seeming extremely boring for a normal user like you and I, this is what works for this niche. The users in this niche, they want something that's straightforward. They want something that's direct, where they don't have to think too much before clicking the button. They can see directly what the kind of numbers are for this product, what the diameter is, what the width is, etc. And then they can make a decision based on whether they like it and based on these models right here, car models, or not. It's that simple. So what this brand has done is it has perfected the kind of approach the ideal user within this niche needs. And once it has done that, it's able to replicate it over and over for that same user, because all of the people in this niche, first of all, majority of them are males, 98 to even 100%, which means they can get away with using certain colors that they used here. But second, the people within this niche, they prefer the specifications of the products first and foremost. They don't really care how the car wheels will make them feel or how it's gonna save the world in some way, shape, or form. They don't really care about that. All they care about is how cool is their car going to look, or how is it going to perform with this new wheels. And this brand has provided exactly what the audience wants. So in addition to that, all of these products, they're based around what people are actually searching for. So even though they're very specific, this brand didn't just go out and source some random wheels just for car brands which barely get used or barely get purchased within their target audience. Rather, they chose specific car makes and models which they know are very popular, are very famous, are what get purchased the most, so that they can provide a solution for these car makes and models. So they took kind of a backwards approach. Instead of just figuring out the product, what they want to source first, they looked into the niche, the audience, and then understood which cars actually sell the most, and then went from there. But in addition, what they did right on the back end, and what we did for their strategy, because this is a brand under my Google Ads agency, Your Marketing, which, by the way, if you run a brand doing $1 million a year and you want help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see essentially how we can work together and make that happen. But the next thing that this brand did right is we were able to basically get the perfect audience matched with the campaigns themselves. Now, if you see right here, there's only 3 campaigns going on. There's nothing too crazy. It's nothing on top of the world. However, the Performance Max campaign that we launched here, we launched it with a very specific strategy in mind, especially around the asset group section. Now, if you look right here, there's only 2 things we're testing. We're testing either images, having images in here, or a feed only approach. That's literally it. Because we know that either the images will work and sell, or the feed only approach will work. And in this situation, if we go on over to the listing group section, we can see that actually both of them are almost the same results. Both of them are very, very close to each other. Just the one at the top with assets has a bigger or higher conversion rate. So in addition to that, what we understood is that within this niche, there's a big kind of differentiation between a want versus a need. Now, what I mean by that is you don't necessarily need wheels like these. You could get cheaper wheels, you could get stock wheels, so on and so forth. But this is where the want comes in. A user, somebody who drives this kind of car, would want these wheels because maybe they look cool, or maybe they make the car perform better, or whatever the situation is. And we took that into consideration when creating the ad copies for the search campaigns. And because of that, what ended up happening was a lot of these search campaigns ended up having CTRs above 10%. I mean, the average is a 10% CTR going all the way up to 23%. This is what a truly winning search campaign and search ad copy looks like. When your CTRs are above 10%, 20%, that's when you know you have something viral. Now, obviously, the main reason why we launched all of these different ad copies is because we did want to do a little bit of A/B testing, and that led us to understand that some of these just have very low CTRs, some of these have very high CTRs, and we got to know what works the best for this brand. You need to know if the product you sell or if the niche you're in has audience members operating on a needs basis or operating on a wants basis, because only then can you apply this right kind of strategy, can you apply the right kind of ad copy testing, so on and so forth. But once kind of we had that going on, what we did is we kept things simple. We launched this third shopping catch all campaign, which is just designed to basically run at a very high target ROAS and just catch any lost potential sales. It's not performing the best because it's not designed to be scalable. It's just there to catch any potential lost sales. But the Performance Max continues to be the best performing campaign, going after cold traffic as well as a little bit of retargeting, and it continues to generate tons of decent scale. But again, to summarize, you don't need a crazy fancy approach. You don't need to do something out of this world to start getting this level of consistency. What you need is just to find that perfect approach with the landing pages, which matches what your audience wants. Doesn't matter if your brand is very niche specific. I mean, just these keywords alone, if you were to search them up on the Google Keyword Planner tool, you'll notice it's very low search volume, but that didn't stop this brand from scaling to $200,000 a month. So really, although search volume is a limitation with Google, it's not the end of the world if you have low search volume or your brand is very niche specific like we saw here. Once you do that, once you have a Google ad strategy in the background running, which is very simple and straightforward and to the point initially, then you will start to see some initial great results coming in, and that's when you can go in and start scaling. So for scaling, if you look right here, we're literally just scaling based on vertical scaling methods, which is scaling up the budgets, doing a little bit of A/B testing in the back end, improving the product titles, images, etc. further. Now, as we start to get more and more data, now we know what needs improvements, whether the landing page needs to improve or not, etc. So now that's when we can start improving those things or helping the brand owner improve those things while we increase the budget and whatnot. But if you run a brand doing $1 million a year and you want just a little bit of extra help scaling to the next level, go on to my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see essentially how we can work together and make that happen. But check out this video right here on the newest strategy I found to scale almost every single day with Google Ads alone consistently. That's the exact same strategy we used to scale this brand all the way up to 200 grand a month in revenue.